Spend a day with me in Kisii, Kenya. Today is one of those busy days, but we have to keep our hopes high because one thing I know is that there's always going to be activities throughout the day. First things first, let's freshen up. I'm just going to go ahead and grab my toothbrush and my toothpaste. And of course, I have to make sure I use some good clean water. Look at that pile of clothes. That's going to be waiting there for me until I get some specific chores done. I'm just going to pre-soak them in some water and then come back to them later. And did I mention that we need some good cleaning? This is me just sweeping some of the dirt in this house. This came from one of the curtains, and of course I'm sweeping the wall using this long broom and the floor, just making sure I sweep every single inch of this house. And this made me feel so accomplished because I knew even if the guests walk in, at least the floor is clean. Let's get some bright light in here. I'm just going to do a little bit of some dishes. And then I remembered that, hey, I need to make some tea. So I got the stove going for some Kenyan tea, while on the side, I made myself some green tea. I just used tea masala and tea leaves and added in some milk and let it boil. And this is me just making myself some green tea while I prepare the other one. And when that was ready, I fill them into these flasks, just ready for the guests when they arrive. And if you make your tea and it doesn't spill, no, that's a big accomplishment. Finally, I got back to doing these dishes, finished them up because, hey, a clean sink gives me some kind of accomplishment. Finally, I was able to sit down and have some breakfast for myself. And then let's embark on to doing this laundry. Growing up, this is how we do our laundry, one cloth at a time, 1 inch at a time. But looking back, and looking at my life right now, I'm getting older and it can be tough on the back. That's why I'm sitting down and just making sure I protect my back. And in between, I remembered Omo is one of those brands that we grew up knowing. And I was like, let me go ahead and use this and see how it helps me clean these clothes. And this here is just part of it that's been completed, waiting to be rinsed, and of course, taking deep breath in between. And having water close by is a big accomplishment because this makes you do your chores easily without too much strain. Then my sister-in-law came and helped me do a little bit of laundry, and then it's time to hang them up. This is me just hanging the clothes outside on these bushes, and of course guests were coming in, so I had to go wipe down some of the sodas so we can get them to the guests because the sodas were a little dusty and you want to make sure you are presenting something good to your guests. So there's different types on there. I try to put every single type just so there are options for the guests to choose from. And if you have made it this far, thank you so much. Please consider subscribing and let us grow together. Finally, we felt like the rain was going to come through and we decided to fold the clothes and put them away. And before we knew, it was time to bring them back again. And this is the weather with back home. It tells you one thing and it does another. And of course, my husband was busy too, cutting down the bushes because you got to keep the compound clean. And sometimes it just brings back so much memories. And then the clothes were back outside again. The sun was back up. So we wanted them to dry a little bit more. And in here, we were preparing the water that we were going to use to cook the chicken, or rather the hen. And this is one of the cousins just helping prepare the hen. And of course, the kids too wanted to help, but they were scared of the heat. This is me just making some of the fish that my sister-in-law gave to us when we went to visit. And then it was raining. Finally, it was pouring heavy. This is one thing that we were blessed with in Kisii, lots of rain, which was blessings in disguise in one way or another. And this is just us preparing other things. The fish are ready. And then we had to make some ugali. This is me making ugali. Honestly, I haven't made such big ugali on gas stove for many people. So I was kind of nervous, but hey, it turned out so good because I knew I'm already a wife. I'm already making ugali for a lot of people in the village. and it needs to turn out right. One thing with this kind of unga is that even if you don't know how to make ugali, as long as you do the steps the way it should be done, it's always gonna turn out right. Finally, it's just us and the kids hanging out here, helping me in the kitchen as well, because everybody's got to work. And at this point, we're coming to the end of everything that we prepared. So we had rice, we had white ugali, we had some cabbage, we had some chicken, we had some fish, and of course the brown signature ugali. Thank you for hanging out with me. Till next time. Bye.